We just got the sad news that that Anthony Bourdain died, and just a quick lead-in. Riley, tell us about how long you've been traveling for.
You're cutting out. How long have I been traveling?
Yeah,
for?
how long have you been outside of the U.S.?
Yeah, outside of the U.S. for about 3.5 years now. And yeah, man, when you told me, I was like, fucking obviously super stunned and sad. That's like the #1 traveler OG. Number one.
I mean, I don't know how to say this without coming off kind of fanboyish, you know. But a lot of the way that I feel about travel and experiencing culture and food and befriending locals, a lot of that attitude I got from him. I mean, and I know that he was definitely an inspiration to you, and what aspect has he kind of shaped the way you travel and the way you experience stuff?
Yeah, man. Yeah, right after you told me, I happened to be vlogging today, so I whipped out my fucking GoPro and did like a 10-minute rant. And yeah, I mean, that fucking guy is like, so first of all, like my aunt Carol, she used to say, she still says, like, are you gonna be Anthony Bourdain? Like, you know Anthony Bourdain? Oh, he reminds me so much of you. He's just like in the street, eating street food, just like drinking, partying, having a good old time. So she's like, are you gonna be like the new Anthony Bourdain? And I'm just like, that thought, like, actually, like, because it is actually so real, is like exciting but like scary at the same time. Like, holy shit, like when I'm 60, I could be fucking the next Anthony Bourdain. So I'm just like, wow, like, and obviously, like, I grew up like watching his shows and like the food, and like people like you and me, like some people like us, we get excited about food, so we're like really into that stuff. And me a little bit more, but like my foodiness just like comes out, and he's just like so real, and it's like, holy shit, like that was awesome to be able to look up to Anthony Bourdain and be like, wow, like you can travel your whole life, like you don't have to just have a boring life when you're old, like wow, we can do this like international lifestyle like our whole life, like holy shit. Like, I just like hope when I'm old I can still be living like Anthony Bourdain. So he's the
I mean, one thing, I mean, even if you're not the next Anthony Bourdain, I guarantee you'll have more videos for people to see.
Yeah, if I keep cranking them out like this. But yeah, what is he meant to you?
It's interesting, man. I made a YouTube video about how much I hate vegan travelers, and that video got me a lot of hate from vegans. But really, the message of kind of what I was trying to say is that, you know, when you're somewhere else in the world outside of your home, and you're getting all these new experiences, to expect for local people to have a version of their food that is meant or applies for you is kind of arrogant, and is kind of just the idea of like, oh, do they have vegan options for me in Hanoi? Because just seems a little bit kind of just preposterous, arrogant, whatever you want to say. And so, you know, for me, a big part of traveling and making videos, to be completely frank, is like going outside of my comfort zone and either trying new food or meeting new people or doing things I wouldn't normally do. And we're talking everything from learning to ride a motorcycle in Thailand and then going on a 5-day motorcycle trip, to eating dog with you, you know, in Hanoi.
Yeah.
And it's just like the reason why I just kind of really changed my perspective about all this stuff was a lot of the thoughts and feelings that I heard Bourdain echo, and seeing what he did, and just like, you know, the idea of never saying no if a local person offers you something.
Yeah.
Specific.
Yeah. Totally.
Specifically, what I'm curious about for you, you know, because you've been on the road for so long, was there something specific that you saw in his work, or something that you saw something that you saw, or heard on Joe Rogan that was like, I want to go here and I want to try this because Anthony Bourdain said it was dope as shit, or something like that.
Yeah. No, like I grew up personally watching a lot of Travel Channel, a lot of like Bizarre Foods by Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Or no, by
Andrew Zimmerman.
And a lot of Travel Channel and like some Food Channel and a lot of Anthony Bourdain. Like, I don't know why. And after I got to Vietnam and Thailand, this part of the world, and that's actually a statement from him. He likes to say this part of the world. And that's just like when he refers to Southeast Asia. He's like, yeah, it's been a while since I've been out to this part of the world. And he refers to Southeast Asia as this part of the world. And so I like to echo that from him. But there's this one video. It's on the CNN channel. It's called Anthony Bourdain Falls in Love with Vietnamese Street Food. And it's like a 2-minute highlight. And he's like, so I'm back in Vietnam, a place that is very dear to my heart. I love this place. One of my first loves. And I was just like, yes, those are my words exactly. Like, this is like a second home to me, and I so love it. And he's sitting on the short stool on the road, scooters going by. He's like, this has everything that you need for happiness. Short stool, a bowl of something delicious, check. Scooters going by, check. And a cold local beer, check. He's like, fellow travelers, this is what you want. This is all you need for true happiness and wisdom. And he just goes in to eat his bowl of like rice noodles or whatever the heck. And I was just like, yes, he gets it. Like, he's such a street food guy. And I'm such a street food guy. And maybe I get it from him, just like growing up, seeing him and just like unconsciously seeing like, oh, that's cool to like sit on the sidewalk and like try all these bizarre foods and all that stuff and interact with like eat whatever the grandma is serving. So so nonetheless, it's had a big influence, and I just hope that when I'm old, I'm still doing it OG like him.
This is a good time to plug that I probably have another 3 to 4 hours left on the edit for the street food tour video that we did. Just because I think we have like over an hour and a half of footage from that. And it's like we're already at like 14 minutes, and I still probably have another 20 minutes of footage left. I put in like 3.5 hours. I put in like 3.5, 4 hours editing it this week, but I'm now posting twice a week on my channel, so I'm a month ahead on videos, and so all the videos I'm doing on my channel now are like higher production, where I'll have an assistant come with me. I'm doing a Vietnamese food guide for Westerners on my channel. Yeah, step it up. We're stepping up. We're stepping up the production. I think the thing maybe that spoke to me the most, and I think we'll end it soon because I kind of don't want to beat a dead horse, because I want to finish and talk about how he died. But one of the things that really like spoke to me the most was something he said on Joe Rogan's podcast. And it might have been like the second or third time he made an appearance, probably the second. But him and Joe Rogan were talking about different ways that they enjoyed smoking weed. And Anthony Bourdain says, Joe, you can have the bongs and the gummies and the vape pens and the this, but if I'm out on a sand dune somewhere overlooking the sunset, just give me a fucking joint and keep it simple. And I think, to me at least, what that really means is that, you can easily get caught up in the extravagance or the complex things that are available to you in life, but sometimes those complex, whatever it is, gets in the way of you appreciating like a specific moment in time that you have, right? And like the idea of like, talking to Joe Rogan, a infamous pothead, and saying, yeah, sometimes it's just you have to keep it simple and just enjoy the sunsets. Kind of like, sometimes, and for me as like someone that makes videos, it's kind of hard because really what that means, like at times you can have a bunch of complex cameras or rigging or drones and stuff, but really, you know, sometimes it's best to just whip out your cell phone and keep it simple and appreciate the moment you have in front of you. And that's kind of, that was one of my favorite things he said.
Absolutely.
The last thing I kind of want to end on is just to bring up how he died. And this is going to take the turn for a little more macabre. Because originally when I heard he died, I thought it was a heart attack, because he's talked about issues he's had with like cholesterol and Joe Rogan. But apparently he hung himself in his hotel room in France, filming a video for Parts Unknown.
I just watched the CNN thing on that, and I was shocked when I heard that, of course. I was like, you know, one part of me is like, oh yeah, he eats so much food, and like, all right, yeah, heart attack, or, you know, maybe even crossed my mind for like a drug overdose.
Yeah, because he had issues with heroin for a minute.
Yeah, I had heard about that, and he talked about that. And when I heard the hang thing, I was like, whoa, I was blown back. So, and then, yeah, I mean, if that's true, that's just sad. Sad that I don't even know. Something was going on, whether it's fucking mental worm, fucking physical disease
that he picked up from eating street food somewhere. Or...
Yeah, like mad cow disease or something. Like made that
mad chef disease.
Yeah, it's like so ironic that if this is true, if he really wanted to go out, like he's living the ultimate life.
Yeah.
Like, why would you stop that? Like, why would you want to end your life if you're living the dream life? And so that's like, boom, blown back to me. Like, whoa, holy shit. Like, that's the last guy in the world that would want to commit suicide, right? So, like, he's living the dream. He's living life to the fullest. So, who knows? I guess we'll never know. Like, maybe his life was so fucking good that he's like, yo, this life is too good. I'm done. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
He's like having too much fun.
Dude, when I heard that, my very first reaction to it was just kind of a word to the other digital nomads out there that you know, while we could all be like living that life, no pun intended, that sometimes it's, you know, you have to consider what's important. I don't know. I feel like we could do a whole podcast on your channel about this next week to talk about like happiness when like living abroad. But you know, I just wanted to get on Instagram Live with you and honestly just try to get a initial reaction, I guess, you know. And I'll have links to your channel and stuff like that down below. I'm gonna see if I can get my buddy Brock in the world on. He also has a YouTube channel. But yeah, you know, I think this is something that I'm really happy that you and I got to talk about, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, infinite tributes go out to this guy. Like, as travel YouTubers, this is like the fucking Jesus. This is like the fucking God.
Yeah.
This is like the fucking OG. And so, like, yeah, it's, yeah, we got to do it. We got to do the tribute. We got to do it. And it's still very new and fresh and fucking sad and like, wow, like, holy shit. And yeah, about the loneliness thing and the sad and happiness part of traveling. I actually, me and Matt Laker out here in Saigon, another digital nomad, is his idea. He wanted to do a video about loneliness while traveling and being a digital nomad and a solopreneur. Like, you're always working by yourself. And I'm sitting in a cafe right now. I'm eating by myself, and there's a lot of time by yourself, but you're in like an exciting place. So yeah, it definitely does have its ups and downs, and I guess we'll never know what the true reason is. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely does have its ups and downs, like living in another country and being on your own, and I don't know. But yeah, it's for real. Yeah, we can do a video.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Hey, I'll let you go. I know you're out in Saigon. You're about to enjoy the Friday night. I'm sure there'll be a video about it or something.
Yeah, there will be, as usual. And on Instagram stories live.
Okay. Out.
All
Bye.
right, cheers, man. All right, peace. Make sure you
I
share
will.
it.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I am going to try and get my buddy on. You're good. I just had Riley from Living That Life on, and I just wanted to get another world traveler, digital nomad, food and culture connoisseur on, such as yourself, just to get some more opinions, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, that's crazy. Hang on, I'm trying to get it crazy. Like, I wasn't expecting that was going to be the news or the topic of your live video. And honestly, that's so sad. It's so sad to hear that, because he's such an inspiration to a lot of us travelers, a lot of us people who are just going out there and doing it. We look up to people like him. And I thank you so much. But we look up to people like him. You know, and it's not easy. It's not, when you watch shows like that, when you watch travel vloggers and stuff, they kind of make it look easy. They make it look like something that you can just go out and do. And it's not exactly. There's a lot of challenges, a lot of personal struggles and things that you have to go through to get to that point, and then to maintain it. And I think when you get to a level like somebody like Anthony Bourdain, you have probably an immense amount of pressure and expectations and things like this. I don't know what might have been going on with him personally, but you got to keep things in balance, and it is a difficult struggle sometimes. So my heart goes out to him, and I'm really sad to hear that news, for sure. One of the things that I asked Riley, which I would love to ask, I'd you, and what at least for me, right? I didn't necessarily grow up watching Anthony Bourdain. It was something I began to watch his stuff in college. My college roommate, he was a big fan of his, and every week he would torrent his newest show, and then he would go smoke weed in our living room and watch watch his newest thing. And so it was one of those things that I was kind of oh yeah, cool, huh? You want to travel the world? And do what this guy does, how cute. And then fast forward, and now I live abroad, and I'm going to Bangkok next week, and my next trip will probably be to Bali or something. And at least the thing that I took away from him the most was kind of an attitude and a way of approaching new and foreign things. So what I want to ask you is to you at least, what was either a big influence or a big takeaway that you had from his content? I mean, honestly, it's sort of the same thing. It's his personality. It's his approach. That he has no fear. Absolutely, just throwing himself out there. Whatever the experience is, he wants to have it. He wants to take the most from that, and share that with people. That's just what makes his content so awesome, and it inspires me to make content as well. I don't know, just there's so many things out there in the world, and I think sometimes when we travel and when you feel like you have the world at your fingertips, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. When you get to that point, you start to feel like, is this it? But then there's always something more. There's always something more, and you can't forget that there's always the next thing. There's always more things to keep doing and looking forward to, and sharing with people. So, and you have to understand the value that is in that content for other people. Even if you're struggling yourself, there's value in that. Because I've struggled with myself recently. I haven't been making videos for the last 8 months now, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So, but I recognize that there's always the next thing. So, I mean, I'm out here in Bali right now, and I'm getting my YouTube channel back together. So hopefully there'll be a lot more videos coming out. But this actually, hearing this, it's sad, but it's gonna actually kick me in the butt to to do it, right? In his memory, in his memory, just do it. Go put yourself out there and do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's and to hear that it was suicide for me, that was that was just the biggest like, whoa, it wasn't the food that killed him. You know, I think, I mean, someone asked me how did he die before. I was like, oh, I think it was a heart attack. You know, just because of his history of high cholesterol and diet.
Heart attack or maybe drugs. But.
Yeah, or maybe drugs, right? Yeah, and it's, you know, I think that for me at least, you know, like my biggest takeaway from his death is just that, you know, being abroad, living abroad, and getting to be a foreigner everywhere you go is a really unique experience. And it's, you know, the thing I was really happy about coming over here is meeting other people like yourself and like Riley who also really enjoy the experience of being a foreigner, completely out of their element, completely unknowing of what's there.
What a better way to meet like-minded people than to go out there and travel where you're going to meet those same people that are doing what you're wanting to do, you know?
Yeah.
If you're afraid to travel alone, you know, you're not going to meet people who are going to travel with you. That's where I met you and we travel together. I met other people who are ready to go just because, you know, if you stay in your hometown, you're not going to meet those people because they're out traveling the world. So you got to get out there and do it.
Yeah, and I think just getting out there and doing it is one of the. I think honestly, it's kind of one of the, you know, the big important things that you can live your life with is just like, you know, if you've done your planning, if you've done your homework, if you've done research, you know what I mean, then the fact that you're not getting out there to do it, what's holding you back, you know? If you know, it's one thing if you don't have a game plan or if you don't have an itinerary or you don't know what you want to get out of it. But if you've done all that already, you know, days are just ticking by.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're at a restaurant. I probably interrupted your meal. I really, really appreciate you coming on. And I'll have a link to your channel. Yeah, dude, I really, really appreciate it.